Hello, this is Abby McDougall, and I am going to do a quick walkthrough on how to use Canva to make your social media even more professional. So to start off, you're going to go to any internet browser. You're going to go to canva.com. Once you get to Canva, the first time you come, you're going to need to sign up. And you want to make sure that you sign up with your CSI email address. So it might offer for you to use a Gmail account address, and you don't actually want to do that because that won't give you the professional account features that we have through the CSI account. So once you have signed in with your CSI account, you will be able to see that you have joined Selena Dynesty's team. And the Swiss team has this account set up. It's an excellent resource. And under this account, you'll be able to access the shared templates. So when you come in, you'll go to projects. And to find the resources available, you will go under CSI affiliates. And then in here, I have created 3 different folders. The first one is a general templates folder. So if you're creating something new, you can come into this one that has great text for Instagram. You can use this one that's more of a gallery style. This one is specifically and only for the 30th anniversary campaign. You can use that for something different. If you're using something for Twitter or Facebook or LinkedIn, those don't scroll through a carousel post in the same way that Instagram does. So you might just choose a single one of images in this size that I think it's 1200 by 628 pixels. There's also a fade image where we can put the text at the bottom. You see this in a lot of the major news media outlets. They've been using the style more like this. You can do something really simple with just the text. Make it nice and clean. Try to keep a lot of white in there, and then bring in the blues and our other design colors for CSI as well. So those are the general templates. And whenever you use one of these, the very first thing you're always going to do is you're going to create a copy. So you'll come to these 3 dots and then click the Make a Copy button. And then you'll go into this copy you just created, which usually is going to move right up to the top. Once you're in here, you have the option to edit. It's super easy to see the places that you can click. And so to edit, you can go ahead and replace it with your text to say, thank you for support. And I might change that because I want to make sure it fits my sizing. So I might say, thank you from CSI. Your impact. But then I still have my example picture here, and I want to go ahead and change that. So I'm going to come here and I want to show you something that I find really useful. When I right click, my menu shows me layers. If I come down here and click on Show Layers, or Alt-1 on a Windows computer, it will show me every element that's in here. Now this is also for layering, right? So notice if I move our logo down here, notice the color changes because it is now underneath this color gradient. If I move the arrow down, notice how it disappears under the gradient. So this is a way that you can just drag and drop to rearrange your layers. You can also quickly see that background image that you're wanting to replace. So if I want to replace my background image, I'm actually going to start by just putting in a new image. And I've uploaded some already, but I can come here and upload files. And I can pick something in my folder of images. And I can either drag and drop that in or add it in by opening it under the upload files. And then I place it on the square that I'm working on. I right click and I hit replace background. And now I have changed my image. Now, this looks a little funny to me, and so I want to check the layers. And I guess this is just because I have a blue sky. But I might want to think about that. And so I might either slide this down by just dragging, or I might delete it altogether. And then I just want to be mindful of how this affects my text to make sure it's really clear and visible. If I want to move multiple elements at a time, then I would click the first one and then click the next one. Oh, this one, it might help to show those layers too. And then I can move them together. Now, when I'm here and I have a dark background, a quick note is to make sure you use light text to zoom out. On most of these templates, I've already added some colors that fit our theme. So you have the main blues and white. You can also see that they've been used here, but there's also a darker blue, a bright yellow for highlights, and a light blue, a transparent version of this blue that we've added in that you can use. And do the same fade in black. And again, we can just highlight key phrases, changing the color and making that font bold. I've used Lato text, which is the same text font that we use on the website. And you can change that up if you want, but Lato is our base, and we want to kind of stick with that clean sans serif font style. For the font size, the biggest thing is going to be to make sure it is not too small. If you start cramming it in, people are not going to read it. So that's an example of what an Instagram post might look like and kind of some of the basics of editing. And you'll notice that just like on Microsoft Word, you can just undo with a Control Z or Command Z if you're on Mac in order to go back to what you had initially, or you can hit the undo and redo buttons here. Now, that was a template example. We were right here working on the copy so that we didn't mess up the original. And once I have this copy and I've changed it, I might, let's see, let's mark that just so you can tell. I might go ahead and rename this so that I can quickly tell what it is. So it hasn't updated the image yet, but I can say testing international, thank you, or whatever you need that to be. Usually it's a good idea to add in the date, year, month, day, and then he can easily find it. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to move it to the affiliate country copies folder. So if I move to a folder, right click here, move to a folder, go to all, go to new projects, go to CSI affiliates, you should have access to. If you don't, send me an email and ask me, Abby McDougall at csi-int.org. When you come in here, you go to affiliate country copies, you find your country name, and then you click move to folder. Now, that was an example of a basic template that you can adapt. But a lot of the times we're going to have content for a particular situation that comes up that we want to have available for you with the pictures already ready to go and with an idea of how you can present it. So under content, you'll see that we have these copies available to you. We always, always, always want to make a copy before we change it. So we're going to take a look at this one. And we're going to go ahead and start by making a copy. And I might go ahead now and rename it and just say, oh, might go ahead and rename it and call it year, month, day, my initials, and you can flip that around to put the country first too if you want. And if this is the first story I'm doing, I might just say story 1. So then I'll go into my new copy that I've renamed, and I can edit from here. And now you'll notice I've done a first set here that goes all the way through. And then I actually went ahead and put a second set in this same file just to keep the content together. So just make sure you're aware and noticing if the same thing has been duplicated. So I changed the coloring and I ended up using this one because it felt more appropriate to the story with the dark blue background. And so in here, if you need to translate this into your language, you can keep the names, for example, the same, keep the font format the same, and then just go ahead and edit the text right here. Once you have finished editing it, what you're going to do is download it as an image. So this is a little counterintuitive. To download it, you're going to click share, then download. Before you download, it's going to ask you what kind of file type you want. Usually I just use PNG. Usually I leave the size at the recommended quality and resolution. And then I will go ahead and select my pages. Now, I often have extra pages because I draft things and then I either want to keep a copy while I'm playing with something, or I end up with something extra. And so I'm actually not going to download all of these. I am only going to download from page 6 down all the way to page 10. Then I click done. And then I do. Okay. Good to know. More than 50. You too can do it. All right. And so once this finishes downloading, you'll be able to open the zip file and extract those and then upload them just like any other image on your social media. Okay. So we made our copy, we made our edits, we got it exactly as we needed to upload, and we've downloaded it. One more thing that I want to show you is looking at this format. And this is the post style that you will use for Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn. You'll notice that the sizing is different. And so on Canva, some of these are preset, but these are the size dimensions that are optimized for Facebook, Twitter, and I think also LinkedIn. And so because the carousel slide doesn't work as well to have as many images, this one is really a chance to just showcase the best quote, give people a little something to engage with and share before they then go and read the article or learn more information. You want to pique their interest, and it should be visually appealing, but it's not going to be the whole story. And again, you can use the same tactics on the colors with the highlights to convey your main idea. And you set your image as the background. So you can check out your layers by right-clicking and going to layer and then show layers here. And then you can drag and adjust the positioning. Now, one helpful thing with these images that you might look at is playing with the transparency. So you can make it totally solid colored and it's just a block right here of blue, but you can also make it a little more transparent. And there can be something really nice about that it helps to make the image a little more cohesive. So often 70 to 80 works well for me if I'm trying to still highlight the text. You can really bring this all the way down to 50, or even we could take it all the way down to 0. That's totally up to you. Just keep in mind what's going to be easy for people to read once they see your post. Same process to download. You go to share, download, specify your details, click the slides or pages that you want to download. And then when you're done, hit done and click down. Okay, so that is the affiliates folder. I want to quickly show you what it looks like if you want to create something else on your own. So we've had some conversations about a trifold, and Canva is the place to make this. If you want to provide information, you can do that here. This is not going to be in my content, but it might be in Canva templates. So if I go outside of the resources that have already been prepared on the CSI team, I can see these templates ready to go. They are not in our colors, in our format, in our style, but they give you the layout, the sizing, the outline that makes it easier to work with. So you can come into any one of these, and if you click customize this template, It will automatically make a copy for you, and then you can edit in the same way that we were doing earlier. You also can look for, let's see, a real design. Let's try this. And you can, or maybe Instagram stories, you can play around with your search terms to find the best options to fit what you need. So you'll see that this gives you that 9:16 ratio. That is the size of a phone screen. And you'll notice if you look at the templates that I showed you, this is just on my end. I actually started with using existing templates in order to adapt them to match what we need. So you can see the originals coming here with those different colors and the blacks and the reds. And I took that base and I revamped it by changing the colors, by altering the fonts, but using this basis right here to make this template into something customized for me. So we went from the tan and the red all the way to this CSI blue and white. All right, affiliates, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have questions. Happy designing.